Okay, so we have 17 variables in our heart dataset. Now, you might have heard this term variable many times during this course or even outside this course, perhaps a million times. But why are attributes such as death cause or age, chronic heart disease, or sex, um, they are even termed variable? This is because these attributes can have different values from person to person. For example, the values for person 1 can differ from those of person 2, and the values for person 2 can vary from person 3, and so on. Okay, now if you look closely, you will notice that these attributes can vary in two very distinct ways. Some variables, such as status, death cause, age, chronic heart disease, they can vary with a limited number of possible values. For example, status, the vital status can vary by only two values, dead or alive. Death cause can vary by only five possibilities. Others, cancer, cerebral vascular disease, coronary heart disease. Sex can vary only by male and female. And on the other hand, some variables can have infinite number of possible values. Take age at start, for example. There are infinite possibilities even within the interval of, say, 29 and 30, such as 29.1, 29.2, 29.11112. So, although we might not use this level of detail practically, but at least theoretically speaking, attributes like age can vary infinitely. Based on how much an attribute can vary, these variables are classified into two types. Variables that have a limited number of possibilities are correctly termed categorical variables because they can have a limited number of categories. For example, status can have only dead or alive, death cause can have only five, and so on. On the other hand, the variables that can have infinite number of possibilities, such as age at start, height, weight, diastolic blood pressure, systolic blood pressure, are termed uh, continuous variables. And if you look closely, they are also numbers. They are numerical in nature. So if you think about it, numbers are the only entities that can theoretically can have infinite range of values, right? So therefore, they are appropriately called continuous variables. So to summarize, we have two types of variables based on their variability: categorical variables with a limited number of defined categories, and continuous variables that which can vary across an infinite numerical range. Let me color them up so they stand out from each other. Status is a categorical variable. Let me color it blue. Other death cause categorical variables. Sex is categorical variables, and the last four are derived variables, which we have converted continuous into categorical version. Now, you might be wondering why we even need to classify these variables in this way. The reason lies in how we analyze this data. For example, the continuous variables, they are numerical, so we can perform arithmetic operations on them, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So we analyze continuous variables typically by taking their mean, median, standard deviation, and percentile. We will cover these concepts in the upcoming lectures. On the other hand, the categorical variables, they cannot undergo arithmetic operations like addition or multiplication, etc. So instead, we analyze or summarize them by looking at, number one, their frequencies, such as how many of the 5,000 individuals were male or female, how many of them were dead or alive. Or we analyze them by taking their proportion. For example, say 5% of the individuals in our cohort were dead and 95% alive, and so on. So in summary, the continuous variables are summarized by taking mean, median, standard deviation, percentiles, and categorical variables are analyzed using frequencies and proportions.